find I'm always asking myself that question. How do I make this work? I find that a lot of it depends on our ability to work outside of the box. So do you know where the expression think outside the box comes from? Back in the day, the earliest IQ test, they would give you like a bunch of dots and you had to connect all the dots, and these dots were in a box. And the only way to, you had to connect the dots without raising the pen and by drawing just straight lines or something like that. Google it and you'll get better information off of it. Anyway, though, the only way to connect all the dots was to move the pen outside of the box and then back into the box to the other dot. Now, when instructed by the scientists doing the test, nobody was told that they couldn't leave the box with the pen and then come back to the box. Everybody simply assumed that they had to keep the pen within the box, and thus is the expression out of the box thinking. So hang on, let me get logged in over here. Oops, what am I doing? I'm pressing buttons. What movie is that? Remember the guy's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. See this button? I don't know what that does. What was that? I feel like that sometimes when I'm like, okay, I'm pressing buttons now, right? So as you might can tell, guys, from the title of this video, it is hot outside. And I don't mean a little bit hot. I'm talking like Carlos Santana smooth music video, kind of like hot. It is hot, hot. And yeah, it's not good. I don't like it. And I've got stuff to do today too. So I got a job outside I've got to finish because I need the funds, like a gunshot wound needs a surgeon. And I'm also not really willing to wait until the sun subsides. So I'm just going to go do it and yeah, see what happens. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get in here, guys. Restore. Oh, I've had too much caffeine today. I need to get something to eat. I always tell everybody that whenever we're having like a rough or stressful day, it's a good idea to watch how much caffeine we have and also be sure to eat something. The reason that eating something is important is like there are two reasons that I know of. The first one is it will actually cut the caffeine, right? So if we like our coffee and stuff, having something to eat will mellow that out a little bit. A lot like drinking liquor, basically. You know, you're going to get less drunk on a full stomach than on an empty stomach. The second reason that eating something during a stressful day or event or something like that is important is because it also activates the metabolism. So when we don't eat, the body thinks to itself that, well, the subconscious in the body, that we're not going to have food. So it goes into an active storage mode. What that means is that it changes also the way that we're thinking. It makes us a little bit more edgy, a little bit more desperate. In the wild, that's a good thing because it causes animals or creatures, same thing, to go do like, all right, that today, while I've got food over here, it's not a good idea to go play with the crocodiles, right? I'm just going to stay away from the crocodiles. But when we don't have food, all of a sudden a switch flips and all of a sudden it sounds like a really good idea to go bully those crocodiles out of the food so that we can eat, right? It's a life survival mechanism. And so by having something to eat, it keeps our mind from switching onto that. Now, sometimes I do like small fasting kind of, and I find that if my life and all the energy in my life, right, not to sound like a hippie, if everything is going well and everything, then not eating, right, doing a little bit of a fast or something helps me with some forms of like abstract, I won't even call it abstract problem solving. It's like out of the box thinking. Let's just go with out of the box thinking. All of a sudden, you know, it's like, well, you know, maybe I will go bully those crocodiles out of that last kill or something. You know what I mean? But in most cases, I always tell people what I do, I slack off on the coffee and I'm sure to eat something to activate the abstract problem solving, the like, you know, baseline. Yeah. Hi guys. I see you in there. So good to see you guys. We got El Nar Nasri, Brenda Lee, Kim from Michigan, Tracy, Portia, Britta, hi Britta, Joyce Lyons, Nova, Rebecca Blizzard, Midge, hi Midge. I'm sorry, I always have problems with your name. Jenny from Oz. Y'all guys are coming way too fast now, pardon me. Sean, Trev, Jordan, Zuba. Cool name, Zuba. You look so different. Hang on. Zuba says, you look so different and so much more healthier. Well, thank you, Zuba. I actually am a lot healthier. I've gotten older and stuff, so there are like different aches and pains that come up, which that's just life. In the long run, though, I think that I am much healthier. I still don't really eat right. I drink a lot of coffee. Y'all guys know I smoke cigarettes and stuff. But however, I do I work out. I take vitamin supplements and stuff. I'm trying for a little bit of longevity in the remaining good part of my life, because there's going to come a point where we all wake up and we're old and it hurts, right? And I'm not quite there yet. So I'm trying to get just a few more, like maybe 2 decades would be cool, so thank you though. I feel good. Let's see, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Hi, Matt from Museum. Hi, Kevin. How are you, my friend? John Barton, I liked your content earlier. Talking of Britta. Yes, Britta has some lovely content, doesn't she? I was telling her on one of her comments the other night, too, that I think Britta, she is an artist, and she is really good. I think that she could get some of her work in museums and stuff. I think that galleries, I think that she should definitely put some of her artwork in galleries. And I think people would pay for prints and stuff. I mean, I'd pay for an original. Some of her stuff is just really, really good. Thumbs Do Win Gaming. Cool name. How you doing, Thumbs? I'm Ben from WV. Hi, Ben. I'm Matt from WA, my friend. Good to see you in here. Rebecca saying hey to Invisible Man. Hi, Invisible Man. Where are you? I can't see you. Midge saying hey to Britta. Connie McCoy. Hi, Matt from Lake Stevens, Washington. Hey, Connie. Right back from Oroville, Washington. Trevor says, hey. Hi, Trevor. Hi, Alan. Hey. Camp 800 Buck. Double Up Buck. Love it, man. That is an awesome name. Says hi. Hi, Double Up Buck. Rebecca saying hey to Tracy. Tracy to Nova. Misty Durham. Hi, Misty. How are you doing? Laura Thyme to Nova. I can't pronounce this word. It says Pujbj. I'm sorry, my friend. Hi, it's good to see you out there. It'll be neat when YouTube has a translator on the comments. I think I can translate my comments over here on the laptop. I cannot translate them here in the chat on the lives though, which sucks. What was there? Something I was gonna say about that. For some reason, you ever do that? Something that pops in your brain and then pops out just as quickly. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. So I got a notification actually just now from YouTube. It says audio dubbing is now enabled on your channel. The audio on new videos will be automatically translated into other languages to make your content more accessible. You can always adjust your settings. Is that cool or what? I've tried to get it set up where the subtitles translate and everything, and that has been difficult, honestly, because I've got to go in and set each and every one of them, and I have no idea how many languages there are in the world. There's page after page after page of languages. So this is cool because YouTube is going to automatically do it, and they're automatically dubbing to language, not to text, right? So it's not going to be in the subtitles. It's going to be in our actual spoken language. For a bunch of my friends from like Mexico and stuff, they've told me that I sound really cool when I'm dubbed over into Mexican or Spanish, right? And I think that would be so neat to find. I haven't been able to find it on YouTube or anything, but I just think it would be really neat to see what kind of dub voice they gave me, right? Do I have a really deep voice or not? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thanks for everybody, all your response on the most recent video. I slammed it out last night because it's taken me so long to get these last two done. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the third one. Honestly, I've got to kind of just figure everything out. I may use bits or flashes of it. I might put the whole thing out. It really depends. I am in a moment of reflection. So sometimes I enter a moment of reflection where I reassess everything in life. And then after that moment of reflection, kind of, I enter back into life with a more realistic aspect of what I'm doing, basically. And so I decided this morning when I woke up that I'm going to spend a 48-hour reflective moment. I will reflect on everything. And then after that time is done, I will remeasure the realistic components of my world and see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted or anything. So that's what I'm going through right now. Not really going through, I should say doing. I feel that going through is really something that's projected onto us sometimes, or even something that we are experiencing because of the effects of an action or lack of action, if that makes sense. So I instead going through, I'm going to say doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm having 48 hours to reflect. I come up with good plans, see what plans are already good, and then move forward, essentially. Because in life, guys, we can have, I find, only the village idiot is happy all the time, right? I do find, though, that lots of times we push through things that really we don't have to, that there's some other way, right? Like I always say, big problem. So this came to me when I was getting clean and sober. And I'm rereading the big book right now too. So it's really great because so much of it's backed up, right? Most of the problems that I've had in my life come from not understanding what I'm doing and stacking problems on top of myself, essentially. And human beings, we are really good at gutting through stuff, right? We can always find ways to just gut through it and all. But sometimes everything can get to be so big that it's hard to see everything. It has all, like when I was using, right? It had all these different effects. My world was crumbling and I had all these problems and it got to be mindless, right? I could not see even where to start, right? It's like, let's say we're picking up a room or something, right? Where do you start? Do you start picking up the trash? Do you start picking up the socks? And if it gets to be too much, it can just be boggling. So the saying I came up with is that complicated problems don't have to have complicated solutions. So sometimes the solution to a problem or an issue is a lot simpler to resolve than we think. Take, for instance, my drinking and drugging problem. The problem was in my world. It was in the people, the places, the things. It was in my career. It was in all kinds of different facets of my life, and it had worked its way in. My solution, though it was difficult, right, and came with many different facets of difficulty, the solution itself was really rather simple. I just got out. I decided me. I'm going to save me, right? And so that was good and it worked, though at the same time, on the other end of those, we have to realize that there will be some difficulty. So I always go back to Tina Turner. Tina Turner left Ike with 37 cents in a gas card that didn't have anything in it, So no matter what we're going through in life, we can always find ways to fix it. The solution doesn't have to be as complex as the problem. Now I gotta get in here. One problem I have, I don't know if y'all guys are the same way, is reacting. I react naturally more than I interact a lot of times. Or I should say, I used to. Nowadays, I realize that's what I'm doing. So let's say I feel a strong emotion about something. Something makes me angry, something makes me sad, something makes me afraid. So what I do about that in that moment while I'm feeling that feeling is I react in turn. It's what one of my favorite authors calls the script of emotion, right? So when we're feeling an emotion, we have a script, and it's like, mad. Let's just say angry. Angry is the name of the script. And so the only lines on the script are responding from the perspective of angry, or sad, right? The script says sad. And so the only responses are tied to that emotion. That's why instead of reacting, nowadays I try and interact. And that's the difference in that, is that I'm able to give it the time and stuff that I need to settle the emotions, so that I have a full script that ranges on all the different emotional or logical senses, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, thanks for sitting and listening to me too. Just like drivel on sometimes, because I feel that way sometimes. Yeah, so I always try and find the best way to interact with all situations. And when I find myself feeling emotional about something, try not to do the emotional thing, right? Like if I'm mad, I'm only going to be able to respond mad. If I'm sad, I'm only going to be able to respond sad. And so when I'm in that, I have a little red flag that pops up, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm feeling a strong emotion. Whatever I do right now is going to be linked to that. And later, once the emotion is gone, I'm going to wish that I had responded to it differently. I get on here and I tell y'all guys this kind of stuff because it's what I think about all the time, because it's what's helped my life. And I'm convinced that if we share with each other stuff like this, that can help all of us, or some of us, or something, yeah, because they are the things that have helped me, honestly. Thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca is throwing out the post office box there, guys, for the channel. So Rebecca says, letters and packages to Matt Brown, P.O. Box 55, Oroville, Washington, 98844. Thank you, Rebecca. And so, guys, the reason we do that is we've got two reasons here. One, it is really neat to get to know y'all guys. For all the years that I was on the show, all I ever saw from y'all was my own reflection in the round lens of the camera. And so I didn't get to connect with you. Y'all guys were able to connect with me. You were able to come out on the journeys with me and the adventures, but I still wasn't able to connect to you. And so what's really cool about doing this here on YouTube and with y'all guys is that I finally get to know y'all guys too. So you can send a letter. I ask that you keep it down to 2 pages, because when you send 2 pages, it's really a lot easier for me to read, and I find that it makes y'all guys have to really condense a lot more. Those reads, they're like 2 pages, tell me way more about a person than like 7 pages or something like that. And so I would love to hear from you. If you're interested in sending me a letter, please send me a letter and let me know what your world is like. Some people even include pictures of like their gardens or the mountain ranges that they enjoy and stuff. And I would love to see that stuff. Now, another reason, the second reason, though it is, as the title of the video suggests, very hot outside right now, the nights are getting cooler. We will be moving into fall pretty soon. And there are lots of people here in this vicinity that don't have homes. There are people that need help and everything. And I myself know how it is to not have a home. I've been homeless like 3 times over the past 3 years, I think. Something along those lines. I'd have to really think about it, because like certain parts of it have different periods and intervals. But I know what it's like to not have the things to be able to get a home, to be able to even just stay warm at night, right? And so that's why we do a mail-in drive for cold weather gear, basically. So if y'all guys have, and we're starting that up pretty soon. I've already got stuff stored and all. So anything that you send us is going to go into storage for over the next couple months till it gets colder, or I find people out walking around who are cold, and then I'll give them stuff. And so yeah, if you've got cold weather gear, blankets, socks, hats, coats, sweaters, shoes, pants, I say blankets, anything like that that you're going to get rid of, or to a Goodwill or something like that, you can send them our way. We do not charge any money for this stuff. We give it all out for free, and we make sure that it does wind up with people who actually need it. So yeah, once again, you can send any of that kind of stuff also to Post Office Box 55, Orville, Washington 98844. And like I said, we will find people who need those things. And it's no charge. Like if you give it to a Goodwill, I shouldn't have said that because that's name brand, right? And Goodwill is an awesome place where you can find affordable, good stuff, and it is good to give it to them, okay? However, at the same time, if we give out to other places and stuff that charge money for the stuff, then that makes it really difficult for a lot of people to be able to get that stuff. That's the reason that we do the no revenue giveaways. And what I do basically, one thing that drives me, because I'm not the kind of guy that can just sit back and be happy that I can be comfortable, right? One thing that drives me is that I can find people out there and help them. And lots of times for me, that's just walking around at night with a backpack that has some food in it and maybe like a scarf or a blanket or something like that. Over last winter, we hand out a lot of stuff too to people that really needed it. So it's a cool thing that we do here. This is all good over here. I'm trying to just make it all work, you know, guys. I feel so bad for y'all sometimes because I just get on here and talk and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time. I mean, I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know what I'm going to talk about, if that makes sense. Patriot Amber says, talking to, pardon me, talking to John, Keith, an unsung hero. You're an unsung hero, Keith. Thanks for being there, buddy. I'm sure that you are as kind in your real world as you are here and everything. And I find that lots of times that's all that people need. You know, I think that sometimes people, the healing that they can get is just from having somebody that they can explain something to who doesn't judge them or anything and who they know actually listens to them. And so I just want to say good job to everybody out there who, like, you know, gives a smile out, but smiles are free, right? And when we smile at our people, it activates that brain thing that makes us feel good, and we'll smile to somebody else, you know, or just listening to people too at the same time. You know, you're the unsung hero, Keith. Britta talking to Kim, talking to the girls. Hey, Ophi, how you doing? Prayers for Jimmy. Right on. Yep, Jimmy's gonna be all right. He's another superhero. Jimmy gonna be okay. There's Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing, bro? All right, guys, so we got the, he says, what's up, buddy? Hey, bro, I'm living the dream, man. It's hot outside. I got work to do. Things are hard. I wouldn't have it any other way. I know, Jimmy. Yeah, bro. So guys, Jimmy he's got some medical stuff that he's going through. So thoughts and prayers are definitely appreciated, encouragement and everything, you know. He also has a channel here on YouTube he's worked really hard on over the past 3 years, and we're trying to help him get into the YouTube partnership program at the same time. It'll give him the ability to do more in-depth videos. It'll open up a couple things for him, like the creator music platform, because once you get into the YouTube partnership program, it just opens up a lot of different ways to make the channel better. And Jimmy's looking forward to that. Like I say, he's worked really hard on it. He's a family man, laid back Southern gentleman. Now he swears like you wouldn't believe sometimes. But he's a real Dude, he's a real man. And if you enjoy that kind of stuff, if you enjoy a little community like we have here on our channel, here in the chat and stuff, you would definitely enjoy Jimmy's channel. And like I said, I think he only needs like 50 subscribers to get into the partnership program. So his channel is Jimmy Dudley 3677. Let me double check. Yes, Jimmy Dudley 3677. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button because you'll be helping out a good man who tries to help out others. Dang, y'all smashed this video 112 times. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for your support. It really is the best way to let YouTube know that we're important, that this channel is important, you know. And what I love about it is we do give back here. I get in my head sometimes because I'm not able to give back enough. It doesn't feel like. However, we've been growing pretty steadily for a long time. And we do give back. We do make a difference out there, which is the goal, in my opinion, right? And yeah, we just keep growing. Maybe we'll get even bigger. Maybe we'll be able to help more people. One of my dreams is to be able to come up with a fund that allows us to like send people to rehab or to a like self-awareness thing, you know, that kind of stuff, where we can actually make bigger changes in people's lives. And I think we'll get there one of these days. Like I said, thanks to y'all guys, we've grown a lot, you know. Oh, hey, cool. Hang on. Let me scroll down. I can never find these when y'all guys do this. A friend of ours, guys, hang on. Oh, Keith. Hey, Keith. Keith Wickliffe. Hey, Keith. Doing $5 to the channel, guys. Let me get you a heart and a like. Says, appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Keith. Thank you so much, my friend. These are the small ways like that, the like button and you know, sharing and commenting and then the donations, that those are like massive ways that this channel has grown here recently. As y'all guys know, I was very questionable early on about putting a donation button or anything on here because we've always given content for free, which I dig. Now, since we have, y'all guys have come back hard and really put my fears at rest, or my being leery about it at rest, because we have been able to achieve a lot that over the past couple years we really couldn't, you know. So I thank y'all guys for that. Oh, hang on. Hey, Allmax did the same thing. Very cool. All right, so Allmax threw in $2, guys, and said duct cleaning. Oh, wait, that's their name. Okay, they're just being elegant. So it's Allmax Carpet and Duct Cleaning, guys. Let me get you a heart and a like here real quick, friend. Very elegant, very elegant. You know, just drop in and say nothing and all. You're awesome, Allmax. Appreciate you, my friend. Let's see. I want to get into the comments for a little bit here. Hey, is Marty B in here? Hey, Marty. Jimmy's talking to Marty. David MDM says, hi, today is my birthday. That's awesome, David. Something we do here is we celebrate birthdays, which is really cool. We'll celebrate your birthday real quick, all right? And I've got a lot of friends named David. Jamie's girls actually tease me sometimes that all my friends are named like David or Mike or Michael or something. And it is weird how many Daves or Davids or Mikes or Michaels I have in my life. It's kind of cool. So David, you fit right in, bro. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you and many more. Yeah, I know I should actually at least learn how to sing happy birthday, right? David, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing your special day with us. As always, one of the big things I always say is I hope that this last year was really good, and I hope that the parts of it that weren't had some kind of education to it to add hope to your life for the future and to have another wonderful year here on our little planet, third rock from the sun. Thank you for being here, David. Also, friends, family, cake, you know, the whole 9 yards, everything that goes with it. And again, thank you for sharing this day with us. I find this is one of the very special things that we do here on this channel, and it's something that always brightens my day. I really love celebrating your special day. Hoorah! All right, Rebecca saying hey to Marty. David saying hey, David. Yep, I see you, buddy. See Carmilla. I see Carmilla. Happy B-Day, David. Bigfoot Mama. What up, Bigfoot Mama? Says, hello, Matt. Hello back, my friend. All right, Marty B. Talking to Jimmy. Hey, Oak Ridge Taxidermist. Hey, Oak Ridge, thank you so much for your continued support, my friend. Like I was saying, it makes all the difference in the world. Every little bit counts. Every little bit helps. So our friend Oak Ridge threw in $2 to the channel, guys. Let me get you a heart and a like. And okay, so this is for a comment. They say, do you watch Noah's live? I'm his mod. Oh, not really. I follow my brother Bear, the King of Extreme, but not really my brother Noah. We've all kind of split out and started doing our own things and stuff, which is healthy. It's neat to see that you're his mod, though. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your support, my friend. See, Rebecca throwing out the post office box again. Excellent. Appreciate you, Rebecca. Again, guys, yeah, letters or cold weather gear, anything you're getting rid of that we can give out to people who are less fortunate and who are going to be very cold in the next few months, send to post office box 55, Orville, Washington, 98844. We will make sure they find somebody that need them. Jenny from Oz talking to Marty. Jenny, I'm still drinking your coffee. This stuff, I don't know. It might not even be legal in the States. This is some really, really good coffee, guys. It's an international blend. It's an instant coffee. It makes 333 cups, which for me is half of that. I did the trouble of doing the math one day, so don't worry about it. But yeah, this stuff, it's an eye-opener. This will wake you up, kick you in the butt, and get you out of the door going. Yeah. Let's see. Christine Griffin. Hi, Christine. Calvin. Hi, Calvin. How are you doing? Jimmy saying happy birthday. Hoorah. Almax. Dude, Almax, you rock, bro. Appreciate you so much. So Almax doing another $10 to the channel, guys. Heart, like. Once again, they said nothing. That's very, very elegant of you, my friend. So I would like to say something. I guess, thank you. Honestly, you came on my radar here not long ago, I think over a Music Madness and everything, and I just love the way that you're like so considerate to everybody and everything. We've got a lot of really good people here who are that way too. I just wanted to illustrate that since you're also so elegant that, you don't really have much to say. So I just want to let you know that I pay attention to you, and I'm glad that you're here with all of us and everything. And I thank you so much for your support. Like I said, it makes all the difference. It makes differences in ways that y'all guys will never even know sometimes too. So thank you. Britta saying happy birthday to David. LB, this is my first live. Hey, cool, LB. It's good to have you in here, my friend. I know a lot of people, they don't get notifications and stuff, or they just can't get in. It's really neat to have you here. Thank you so much. DNL Pal says, hello, Matt. So good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Thank you, my friend. I am. Life always has its ups and downs and its bumps and stuff. I find that if it didn't, I would probably be really bored most of the time. And I don't get bored very easily. I mean, I get bored very easily. And so I'm glad for the little things in life that always need some kind of adjustment or something, That's one of my things. I'm almost a little bit twisted about it because there are times where I'm really going through it, right? I mean, I think we can all relate to times in life where it's like, I am really going through it, right? And I will sit there completely bewildered. I'll sit there like this with no answer to the problem, just completely undone. And I'll think to myself, I'm like, well, you know what? I am not at all bored. And I don't know what that says. I should study it a little bit, probably, right? But yeah, I think it makes me smile. I try it one of these days. You know, if you're ever going through something, I know a lot of us will probably be like, I'd rather be bored. So maybe it's just me. But yeah, at least I'm not bored is like something I say sometimes. And it helps. It helps. Marty B. Matt, my brother, right on, Marty. Good to see you in here, my friend. Hoorah. I'm so glad you're here. Nova saying hey to Marty. Patriot Amber HBD. I don't know what that means, Patriot. HBD. I'm sorry, I don't know. Hi, though. Britta talking to, hey, thank you, Britta. Excellent. All right, guys. So Britta is throwing out Jimmy Dudley's his @ symbol so that you can get to his channel. It is at Jimmy Dudley 3677. Like I said, he's a really good guy. He's a down-to-earth man who talks about real issues. He lets you have it like he's getting it, and he tries really hard to, even in those negative spaces, put some kind of positivity out there into the world. He's got an excellent group of people. His community is a lot like ours, and if it's something you're into, definitely check it out. And he's been working on his YouTube for like 3 years. This isn't a handout or anything, okay? Jimmy's like 50 subscribers away from getting into the YouTube partnership program, which will give him a lot more bonuses and stuff, or available, a lot more tools to be able to make an even cooler YouTube and give out to the community even more. So please, if you would, if you're interested in what he does, go check it out. Hit the like and subscribe button. I think you'll enjoy it, and you will definitely help out a hardworking family man. Now, I saw somebody dropped in here, guys. I'm sorry I'm skipping over you. Somebody donated again, and the little button thing went off, so I can't get to them, which is really going to bother me. So give me one moment, please. Wow, y'all move so fast. There we go. Rebecca Blizzard, and then somebody else. I got to do this faster because that's timing out. Rebecca, thank you. Rebecca put in $5 for the mission, guys. Let me like and heart from Little Dude, XOXO. Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much, little dude. So Dean is the little dude, guys. He's a little dude that has a really great taste in music. He's a very important member of our group here and a good friend. So thank you so much, Dean. You're a rock star, bro. John also here, hang on, like, heart. John threw in $5 for the channel also, guys, and very elegantly just said, hi, Matt. Hi, John. Thanks for being there, brother. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you're doing well today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending on your time zone. You know what I like about that saying, and I don't normally give away my little things, right? I got that from the Truman Show with Jim Carrey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on your time zone, and it fit our thing because there are so many people from all over the world, and it just feels weird sometimes when I pop in and I'm like, hey friends, good morning, or I'm like, hey friends, good night, and then people will comment and they're like, well, it's nighttime here, right? And one thing I really, really enjoy about that movie, because for a long time I felt trapped in like a sitcom that was not of my creating, right? And much like the movie, all I had to do was desire to get out. It was hard. It all started, though, with that desire to get out. And so I just think that that movie really spoke to me in a lot of ways about how we can live in things that aren't what they really appear to be and situations, and that the power is actually with us. I remember when the bad guy says it, he's like, if Truman truly decided to get out, there's nothing that we could do to stop him. Therefore, he's under his own free will, and this is all excusable, right? And what happens in the end? You know what I mean? I get a lot of my power, a lot of my my motivation and stuff from art, be it movies, television, comic books, the Greek pantheon, whatever it is, right? Marcus Aurelius, it doesn't really matter. I get a lot of it from that kind of stuff. And for me, it does several different things. It connects me in ways to something that gives me strength. And then also it gives me these abstract ideas, because art is imitating life, right? And like a lot of it is history. A lot of it's very psychologically based and stuff, so if I can find an answer in something that works for me and it's not completely out of my mind loony, I'll utilize that. Yeah. A lot of things that I do nowadays, actually, because I need to feel like I have a purpose beyond myself. I like having food to eat. I like having a place to sleep. I like having some kind of feeling of stability. At the same time, I can't just sit back comfortable with myself, right? And so I have to give back. And that's a weird kind of spot. I find that people who are able to connect more through the positive medium, movies, comic books, etc., we can push through stuff that stop other people sometimes from being able to really make a difference, if that makes sense. Well, I said earlier, though, just smiling at somebody makes a difference. It's just, because it releases oxytocin. It lets people know that there's some kind of just a human connection, right? It's like, I see you, I'm here, you're here, we both exist, right? And like they say, a smile is contagious. So if we smile at one person, they're going to smile at somebody else. And it's just going to pass that chain down, So you don't have to put on a cape, jump off of buildings, go fight crime in order to really make a difference in this world. Y'all guys have taught me that just being kind is kind of the serum to fix a lot of stuff, especially in a world where we're all so worried all the time and afraid and everything, I mean, some of us are, it seems like. I always try and throw that out there. I'm big into communication. That's why I was talking about Chris Voss the other day. And so it's like, you ever get those really curmudgeon people that they'll just take whatever you say and they'll spin it however they want to spin it and everything. The best way to defeat that, and this is a negotiator trick, this is an FBI negotiator trick, is to start it with, I feel like, or it better than I feel like, it seems like, or to me it seems, feel like that's just emotional, and like I was talking about emotions before, it doesn't justify anything. Why'd you do that? Because I felt like it. Doesn't justify. Seems like works magic, though, because when you get those people that they like to twist your words and stuff, they can be like, well, you just said blah, 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 right? And I can be like, I said it seems like, so you can change my mind, right? I'm open to a change and everything. I'm thinking about it, but right now it seems like you're a jerk. Or whatever, right? And maybe it's a way to backstep a little bit. I like to think of it, though, as a little bit of a shield that we can put out in front of ourselves, because so much of nowadays is all verbal, right? I mean, back in the day, there were so many let's just call it nonverbal communication tactics that could be employed. And nowadays it's all verbal. So if we're going to get into a verbal scenario, altercation, whatever it is, it's nice to have a few suits of armor, a few different abilities, So like, if you're interested in any of this stuff, if you have problems talking to people or find yourself in situations where you thought that you were being really clear and yet it never seems to make sense when the person that you're talking to talks back, I would definitely, oh, my computer just crashed. Forget it. I would definitely recommend a book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It is really good. These books I read often. I'll read like a book that I find really helpful like 5 times a year, maybe more. The reason for that is humans, we only pick up about 10 to 15% of a subject the first time we hear it. So reading a book one time, we're only going to get about 10 to 15% of that. So I will read a book and reread a book over and over again so I know for sure I'm getting a lot out of it. Now with the book like Never Split the Difference, after the first 10 reads or so, then I can kind of skip through. Like, for instance, this guy, Chris Voss, he gives a lot of different scenarios from when he was working in the FBI and different ways, like stories about people that he had to negotiate with and all of this stuff. And then in between those, he gives a lot of the science and how he figured this stuff out and how the FBI figured this stuff out and everything. And this was like back in the 70s and 80s, the early days of behavioral science. And so after I really know the book really well, I can condense it by cutting like the story parts out. Now, I'll always remember to go back again, like say I read it 10 times in a year. The 10th time, if I'm cutting pieces out, I will definitely read the 10th time completely because I've found a lot of little places inside there that I didn't realize there was knowledge, and yet there was something really applicable to me that I just didn't expect, you know. And then I'm going to do more book recommendations. I was saying yesterday, I want to do some book reads where I get in and like I read a book. I'll read it the first time all the way through non-interrupted. And then the second time, I'm going to do almost a director's cut kind of thing where I talk about how different chapters or different segments seem to me or how I use them and that kind of stuff, which I think could be really interesting. And it's something I'm into, to tell you the truth. Let me get back on here real quick. Oh, no, there's no space. Dang passwords. I'm one of those guys. I've been screwed over by technology so many times that I just make all my stuff like almost impossible now. And I've even got my own code. So I replace a lot of letters with numbers and symbols and stuff. And my password right now is 16 characters long. My next one is probably going to be 24 characters long. But that's like when I go into the wilderness, I make sure that I have not just the stuff I know I'll need, I have the stuff that I may never need. That way, if it does pop up, it'll work out. And so my friend Tim, who gives me a lot of tech support stuff, he's the kind of guy I can just go and ask him a question and he'll give me like a 2-sentence answer to something that I would have to spend maybe months learning myself, right? And so the problem is my network card needs an update, and I just need to go in and do that. Sometimes I'm lazy, or sometimes if there's so much going on, it's hard for me to stop and do something that's going to take 40 minutes or an hour because I have those other things that are so pressing. So I'll let little things go sometimes. That bothers me at times. At the same time, though, like I've been thinking recently, there's this thing called dichotomous thinking. It's basically black and white thinking. It's the idea that we have to be perfect for something, like make no mistakes. So for instance, somebody goes in to take a test and they score a 95, but they had their heart set on 100, right? And because everybody else barely got a C, right? They barely passed, right? And this person got like a 95, but they are super disappointed in themselves because they didn't get that 100 that they had set their sights on. And that's dichotomous thinking, and it can ruin people's lives. It's black and white thinking. So I always try and realize that there are some character flaws that I have that aren't that bad, right? That like, yeah, I can work on it and everything. At the same part though, or same time, I try and remember all of the great growth that I have had, all the triumphs and stuff, that 95%. And I'll work on that other 5% later. One of them is messiness. I am not a filthy person. When I first started getting into recovery, I really kept everything super nice and super clean because it helps with our mind, especially when and not abstinence-based recovery only, any kind of recovery that we're working on ourselves, it helps to have a clean environment. As the years have gone on and stuff, I find myself locked into kind of a Sherlock Holmes kind of thing every now and then, where I will get a little bit messy. There'll be clothes laying on the floor. It's like my change pile is just, I come into the room and because my pockets are heavy, I take all my change and I just slap it down on the dresser and it just accumulates, right? And these are things that I can feel bad about myself for sometimes. And yet I still just try and remember that I'm not shooting for 100 here. And that I've come a very, very long way in putting my life back together and making changes and differences. Plus, it's not easy. It's not like I've got a lot of room to work with in life. There's a saying, who is Andrea, I think, used to say that the floor is the largest shelf in the room. Now, do not use that saying, okay? Please, when somebody's giving you crap about something or something, please don't tell them this because the floor is the largest shelf in the room, okay? But anyway, I should say, and anyway, because when we say but, it removes everything we just said. It's like somebody says, hey, you did a really good job, but you could have done better. It kind of removes everything before that. So I try and never say the word but. I try and say and or and so or not anything at all. If you want to try it, that's the weirdest one. It feels right. It does. Afterwards, it sounds right. Doing it, though, is super hard. So it's like, you did a good job today. Tomorrow, let's be sure and finish this over here. Right? That sounds a lot different than you did a good job today, but tomorrow, let's try and finish this over here. And there's no need for that but. Did you notice that? It's like, you did a good job today. Tomorrow, let's try and finish this over here. No but at all. And it takes a long time to like learn that, to make it, because it doesn't feel right. Also, I try and never, now this one gets weird. Just, the word just, J-U-S-T, right? People, when we text stuff, when we're having problems with like a romantic partner or boss or anybody that we're having problems with and we're communicating like text or something, lots of times people will use the word just, right? I was just this. I was just that, right? I'm just trying to talk to you, right? With a knife in your ribs. Sorry. And it sounds whiny after a while. So like when we text somebody that we're just getting to know or something, it sounds whiny. And it's a psychological thing in our brain. It's just like saying, I'm sorry. When we get out of recovery or out of like rehab or something, when we've started putting ourselves back together, we get back together with like our family or our friends or something, and something happens and we say, I'm sorry. You see, so many years of me saying I'm sorry made it where that wasn't what the person was hearing anymore. When I said I'm sorry, they didn't hear a heartfelt apology. They just heard somebody who is skating past the crappy thing that they just did and going to do it again. So I'm sorry didn't mean I apologize. It meant I'm going to do this again. I don't care about your feelings. I'm more important than everybody else. It was like insert sentence here kind of stuff. Now the word just is pretty dang hard to get away from because it is used in so many circumstances. It can mean at this present moment, right? So somebody texts me and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just having my first cup of coffee. Try and find a way to get out of using just in that, right? I sometimes go to, I am now having my cup of coffee. But then if you get a good long text line with somebody going on and you've used that kind of language, when you look back at it, it can start to seem a little bit weird, actually. So yeah, eliminate the word but. keep just every now and then. And I always try to remember the people that I'm trying to build my life back with. Instead of saying I'm sorry, I say I apologize. It's something that they don't really normally hear, and it takes more effort. It's a full sentence instead of a word, right? So you're actually working harder to show them, and it's something they haven't heard. It's like, he apologized. What happened? You seem blown away. He apologized, and you know what? I think he meant it, right? Or she, insert your nomenclature there. It might not be the right word place for that word. I don't know. Yeah. I gotta go. It's hot outside. I have to work. I got $11 to my name. Yeah, I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement and for being there and listening to me drivel on for almost 20 or 55 minutes. You're remarkable people. I've never known anybody as patient as you. All right, guys. Should we end with a joke? I don't know that joke, so no. I was going to do the one about the doctor, the angry doctor who went out. How's that go? Have you heard the one about the angry doctor who lost all of his... Dang it, it's a patient joke. All right, I'll go with the football joke instead, all right? Do you know... do you know why the football coach went to the bank? To get his quarterback. Yeah, I know. I know a ton of dad jokes. And I try and use them like around Jamie's girls and stuff as frequently as possible. Yeah. Hoorah. Never give up, never surrender. Remember, there's only one of you. Please try and treat that person like with the same respect and understanding that you would treat somebody else. Be kind to you, please. And I will see you here next time. Never give up, never surrender. Bye, guys. Might do another live later.